Okay, so listen, Daniel.
Every week you start earlier than I'm ready for.
I do. It's one of my favorite things in my life is to just record you when you don't know you're being recorded.
I hate it.
You just never know now,
I
do you?
don't. I don't know.
Would you possibly say that this could be one of your pet peeves, Daniel?
Oh God! It is quite possibly becoming one.
You know what we could talk about this week, Daniel?
Pet peeves in TV shows.
Pet peeves in TV shows. This week on Noted.
Noted.
That's it. It's over. No more. We leave now.
So that's the end of the podcast, ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen.
Yeah,
Thank you for listening. This has been noted. Bye.
that's it. We just do. That's it.
So we were talking about this earlier, and I kind of wanted to get your perspective on it. Tell me some of your pet peeves, Eric.
My peeves? Dude.
Your peeves.
First of all, that's a really hard one to go straight into. Okay. With no prompt or do I just pull the Hulk from Avengers?
I'm always angry.
I'm just always angry, Daniel.
Well, here, do you want me to go first?
Nah, I got you. Okay, so a pet peeve, like a simple pet peeve of mine, and we've kind of already talked about this just a wee bit, but the chewing with mouth open, that is definitely a pet peeve. 100% that's a pet peeve. I just think sloppy food in general is a pet peeve. I just like for things to look nice, so when it's like just kind of thrown together and then someone's just going to town on some food like blah 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 blah, like it's just nasty.
Yeah.
It's just gross.
I get that. Like, I don't judge other people who do this, but I'm the guy who keeps their food separated. Like, I don't like mixing the different types of food. Like, if I have mashed potatoes and green beans,
I'm okay.
I keep them they have their own sectors.
Fucking
They don't even live in the same neighborhood.
You segregating your food? You
I damn
racist.
straight I am segregating my food.
You racist.
They're not meant to be together.
Don't send the peas to the gas chain. What? Not the green beans. Sorry.
I send the mashed potatoes to jail and the green beans get to go to college.
Oh no. They'll have debt, Daniel. They'll sprout. Don't keep them in the sun.
But
Dude, did you ever realize that when you were a kid, or like when you make mashed potatoes? Because like when I was a kid, my mom like actually made mashed potatoes. So we had potatoes and she would peel them, slice them up, and then mash them, right? Did you ever get like potatoes that would like start to sprout?
Yep.
Yeah, dude. Isn't that a weird thing?
It is.
They would just produce. They would just grow.
Like,
they'd be like, "Oh, we're just gonna hang out in your pantry for a couple months. Okay, we'll have some kids."
Yeah, like don't worry, we'll have some baby potatoes when we're done.
Yeah.
Like
we'll repopulate in your cupboard.
But like there was like poison ivy was like fucking coming out of my potatoes.
Honestly, dude, it scared me a little bit when I was a kid.
I thought the potatoes were evil. Like I thought they were poisonous. I'm like, we can eat these, right?
Dude,
we can eat this now, right?
I have small side tangent. So there was one time I was living out in the middle of nowhere, in the eastern parts of Washington, in the desert, right?
Washington. That made me cringe. Just
that's how my aunt says that. I love my aunt.
Does she live in Washington?
Not anymore. She used to, but not anymore.
Good. No one who says Washington should be allowed to live here.
Well, she also says like she's gonna wash her clothes.
Oh God damn.
That's just how she grew up. She just always says it like it. Anywho, okay. Side tangent.
That's just her speech.
Oh, facts, yeah. So, okay. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, my mom used to make like potatoes for like mashed potatoes for dinner, right? So, my mom, we're all home, just got home from school. My mom's like, I'm gonna start making dinner. And everyone's like, yay, food, right? So she goes to open the pantry door, opens the pantry door, looks down, goes to reach for potatoes, and guess what is around the potatoes? All coiled up, ready to launch. A garden snake. A fat bull snake. Just decided
In the pantry?
in the pantry, it decided to infiltrate the building, find the potatoes, and
Special
coil
agent.
up around the potatoes, dude.
Special Agent Snake.
Yeah.
Bum, ba-dum, dum, dum, dum,
Yeah,
dum,
dude.
dum, as it slithers around the kitchen.
My mom, no, I think it came in through the pantry
Oh,
and
dude.
just sat in the pantry.
It was waiting, bro.
Yeah. It was like, oh, these guys are gonna want some potatoes. I'm gonna coil up around them like they're my eggs and bite them.
This snake was like, oh, little do they know potatoes are my favorite. I appreciate these humans.
Little
then when you
did
open the
they
door,
know, I am
danger
the
noodle-
potato snake.
The danger noodle just wanted to hug you, that's all.
I am the potato snake. I got
Wait.
the potatoes.
I got the potatoes. Dude, why does that sound like something that would be out of Adventure Time?
I mean, it practically is, dude. Everything. Okay, listen. You get any kind of food, you mix it with a weird personality, and add some drugs into it. It's Adventure Time.
I'm glad you said drugs, because that show is legitimately a fucking fever dream of an acid trip.
Oh yeah. It's like that show is like the best way that I could describe that show is like if you were to do drugs for like a couple of months, like some hard drugs, and then just cold turkey, and then just sweat it out, and just have like a bunch of dreams of you detoxing. That is that show. Is detoxing fever dreams of drugs.
Dude, honestly, it's like when you smoke weed like heavily for like multiple years or like even like a solid year, and then you just don't smoke at all for multiple months, and then after not smoking for like a month or two, then you start getting like even after a couple weeks, you start having super intense dreams. Yeah.
Freaking crazy, dude. He's pretty nuts, bruv. Okay,
Dude, yeah,
what is a pet peeve for you?
So, sticking to like a food pet peeve, this one's more of like a minor one, but it grosses the fuck out of me, and like I want to like punch whoever does it, is when people put their like when we're at dinner or any event and people put their gum on their plate or put it on their soda can.
Oh, my grandmother.
I hate it because me and you both know. You know you're not gonna fucking put that gum back in your mouth.
And if you do, you're disgusting.
You're not chewing that gum. You're eating and you're throwing that gum out with your plate. So why don't you be a civilized person
And
put
just
that
throw it
gum
out
in a
anyways.
put the fucking gum in a like napkin and throw it away or spit it out somewhere.
Yeah.
You fucking hobgoblin.
You
Making me fucking look at
hobgoblin.
making me look at your fucking gum sitting on your plate while I eat. Fucking disgusting ass human.
Scene of Daniel sitting at a restaurant, just hanging out. You're at like an old country. You're at like an old country buffet, right? You just endless amounts of food. You look over. This is just this old dude, right? He's just hanging out. And then it cuts. Dude, it cuts to him pulling his teeth out and gum and setting both of them right there on the napkin. And you're just like, he just sprouts ears, turns into a little goblin, and takes his bread into the corner.
As he fucking should. Disgusting, dude. It's this. Dude, it'd be like, what if I just like, I was chewing like a piece of fucking chicken all day, and then I just took that piece of chicken out and threw it on the plate right in front of you.
Oh, dude. Pet
How
peeve.
gross is that?
I got you. Pet peeve. Grandma. my grandma, she This is a pet peeve. It's kind of gross, dude. She when she eats chicken, like you were saying, like the bones, like the marrow and stuff like that. Like my grandma has broken bones open before, like chicken bones.
Dude, she just goes at it.
She like when she eats a chicken, she eats a chicken. My God.
So she doesn't like strip it of the meat.
She strips the entire thing, dude. I'm talking like it goes from okay. You know, like when you eat a chicken leg or like a chicken wing, you'll eat it and like you have a couple options, right? You can be like, I'm going to eat this to my liking. I'm not going to like really go into it, but I'm just going to eat it because there's meat on it. And then you have your other option that's like, I'm going to clean this thigh bone, right? Like I'm going to clean this chicken.
Yeah, like
and then you have
the only bone.
Then you have like no, I mean like you still got some stuff on the ends, right? Like it's empty in the middle, but you got some stuff on the ends. And then you have like crackhead people who's like I gotta finish every edible thing on this chicken or I'm wasting this food. And then that's when it looks like a cartoon cutout of like it looks like a 3D printed bone because it just looks like a bone. You know what I'm saying? That's my grandma. Every time she eats chicken or anything with a bone, it's just like a perfect bone. It has been like stripped of everything, possibly broken into and still eaten. I think that's disgusting. Like, good job to you to know how to properly eat something, and I'm okay with wasting food.
I 100% feel you there. Like it's like I've never seen someone do that in person. Where
Dude,
they
it's disgusting. It's gross.
Oh, I bet it is.
It's a terror, because it's a lot of like. This is gonna sound disgusting, and I'm really sorry for this to everybody, especially myself when I have to edit this later. It sounds like a lot of this, and then like a rip noise.
I didn't hear any of that.
Like a. You know, kind of, yeah. It's a lot of like slurpy noises. And imagine your elderly grandmother sitting across the table from you. Rip.
Oh, dude. I saw
we're
the
just
first time I seen...
We're just getting into trauma for reasons why I don't eat. God damn it. Eric, why are you below average weight?
It's good. Because my fucking grandma ate chicken. I just imagine
my grandma ate chicken.
I'm gonna set the scene, okay?
Okay, I got you.
You're at your grandma's house.
Okay.
Your grandma comes in. Your little Eric, little 8-year-old Eric's in there. Boy. Grandma comes in with wings. Here's some chicken wings. Oh fuck yeah! You're taking your time. You're like, this is a nice spot. Eat that. You know, slowly, kind of take your time. Look up to the monstrosity that is.
My grandma turned into Moby Dick, dude.
Yeah. Fucking clean. You can't see it, but like I even did like the action of like ripping the chicken wing out of your mouth while you like clench your teeth.
No.
Like like you're letting your teeth be like
no
blades that cut the chicken off as you pull it out.
I don't like it.
Dude, Shia LaBeouf eats chicken wings like that.
Oh, I bet.
I watched him on Hot Ones, and I think it was him or Jack Black, if not both, eat chicken wings like that, where they're like they'll chew a little bit of it,
yeah,
and then like put like half of it in their mouth, and then like pull it, and then just clean it out like that.
I don't understand. I don't get it.
It's almost a talent. To be
it
honest.
It's you know those people who can tie like the knot with like the cherry.
Yeah.
Is that an actual thing, or is that like a trick?
Is that like a TV show thing? Okay, so let's see. Like can you tie a cherry?
Because I'm pretty sure you can, but I don't know.
Yes, you can. It's a thing people can do.
Did you WikiHow it?
I did WikiHow it.
Yes.
But I will say, it is the dumbest party trick ever.
What? What are you talking about?
The dumbest party. Dude, you kidding me? Who are you trying to fucking impress with that, bro?
Can you do it?
Look at me. Like, no, I can't.
Okay,
And
then it's
also,
impressive.
why the fuck would I ever want to learn how to do it? I can do so much cooler party tricks than that. I really needed to.
Well, that's also because you aspired to be a magician at one point in your life, Mr. Card Trick Boy.
Not wrong. I was thinking about all the card tricks I can do.
I know you were.
But even if you don't know card tricks, there's so many other cooler party tricks you can do. Like what you can do. Okay, look. You walk up to a girl at a party. Hey, babe, watch this. Pulls cherry out of stem that she's eating, or a cherry you're eating.
Yeah.
Puts it in your mouth.
Yeah.
Ties it.
Yeah. You're getting
wet
fucked
now?
tonight.
No.
Yeah.
She's gonna laugh at you.
If you're at a party and for some reason there's cherries there, first of all, you're living in luxury. You're getting fucked, dude. You're good. That is how that goes. Who has cherries at parties and like who? Daniel. Have you ever had a cherry at a party?
No.
Then you're not at the right parties to get fucked by doing that.
So okay. So you go to a posh party.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta know. You gotta know where to tie. You gotta know where to tie the cherry, sir.
Dude, you're at a black tie event. You're at like a black tie charity party, and you walk up to Mademoiselle.
Hello.
What? She's like, oh, fuck me now. Take me up to my hotel. Is that what happens?
I loved it. And then just boop. Yeah. And then we'll cut to you at normal parties doing magic tricks with cards. And guess what? You'll still probably get fucked.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna be like, the magic tricks. People like the card tricks, dude.
Yeah.
Especially because I don't even do full-on card tricks anymore. I just do cardistry.
You're just like, look, watch my hands.
Like, watch me do stuff.
Yeah.
It works.
But no, dude, I'm telling you, I think it could happen.
This is what I'm gonna do. Is I'm gonna learn to do it, Eric.
Okay.
And one of these days, I'm gonna try it, and I'll let you know the success rate of it. I will do a scientific experiment. Well, I will do it 10 times.
Are you gonna try and naked man me? Is that what you're saying?
Naked man you?
I'm making a How I Met Your Mother reference every two out of 3.
I forgot about that, dude.
It's one of the best episodes, dude.
Dude, I locked that away.
Like when the Michelin Man, the Captain Morgan. When they're both in when they're both in their dates' bathrooms and they're doing they're trying the naked man for the first time, Ted and Barney. Yeah. They're just doing a bunch of poses in the bathroom naked on the phone with each other. It's just like, dude, what are you guys doing?
Dude.
It's like you could be trying to get laid right now, but you're on the phone talking to your friend and you're both naked in a stranger's bathroom. What do you got? You guys okay?
Dude, that's some friendship material right there, dude.
I
mean, friendship material.
Dude, the real question is why didn't Ted end with Barney?
I would not be against it. I'm not gonna lie. I would not be against that.
There is fan theories 100%.
Actually, to be fair, if Ted's gonna end with any of the male cast members, it's Marshall. Let's be honest. It's Marshall.
I would disagree. I think it would be Barney. I don't think he would do Marshall only because Marshall's married to Lily. And that's like,
if Lily was out of the picture, I'd say.
Yeah, but she's not.
She's not. You're right. Lily's there, and so you can't.
Those two are inseparable.
Marshall's never gonna leave Lily for Ted.
No, and neither the other way around. I don't think either of them would lead of either of each other, even though they went through the whole arc, which is why they're fixed. They're a fixed point in character.
They are.
Character
even
canon history.
They fuck up shit all the time.
Oh yeah, they're just they're the problem characters in that show, dude. Like after a while, they just turn into like their own butt end of a joke. That's what they turn into.
They do. I love the pause thing they have. I think it's hilarious.
The pause thing?
Whenever they're in a fight, in an argument, they pause.
Oh, God, yes. I wish I had that ability with people.
I've done it a couple times.
I wish
where I
that
made
people would just let me pause whenever I wanted to. Just middle of mid conversation, I get bored. Pause. And just walk away.
That's not a pause. That's a full-on stop. We're turning this show
Stop,
off.
eject
I'm sorry.
VCR, rewind.
Dude, remember when you had to rewind VCRs? That
Yeah,
was a fucking pain, dude.
You remember VCRs?
Yeah?
What dimension are you from?
Did you not own a VCR player?
Of course I owned a VCR player.
Okay.
I'm just saying, dude, I'm only 23. It feels like 5 ever ago when VCRs were a thing. Like,
well, yeah, like
I'm on the
VCRs
cusp of, we are on the cusp of like oddly old young men.
Yeah,
because
dude.
technology is moving so fast. We're just like, remember when we used to watch movies on tape? And then someone 2 years younger than us. What's a VCR?
Exactly.
What?
Like we're at the age where it's like we
grew up in the 80s.
We're indoctrinated to all like the new media and new stuff, and so we keep up with all like the new technology, new lingo, and all that.
But our heart's in the past, man.
Exactly. Nostalgia is a bitch. But we're old enough to either we remember all the old stuff, or we had older siblings who grew up in all that old stuff who indoctrinated us in it.
That
like
or
in
just
all the 80s and 90s.
That or just our parents were young.
Oh, I mean, my parents weren't young, but
sorry, go ahead. Yes.
Well, I was gonna say there's people in our generation like Gen Z, because we're Gen Z.
Oh, I know. It makes me sad. Because my mind is a millennial, but my body's a Gen Z, dude. Who am I? Sorry. That's the dilemma that I go through every day, man.
Dude, I relate to that to a degree. I feel like I have a lot of millennial friends, and like I think kind of like a millennial, and like, but I act like a Gen Z until I hear I feel like I'm a Gen Z until I hear other Gen Z talk. And I'm like,
right,
fuck.
Right?
Am I a millennial?
Yeah,
like,
dude,
I think I'm Gen Z until I hear
feel
other Gen Z talk.
Yeah, I'm always like, oh, I'm young, I'm spry, I'm hip. Talk to someone who's just like a little bit younger than me, or someone, or someone who's like more connected to social media, I guess, but like more experienced with socialization. And then I'm just like, oh yeah, no, I can't do this. I like older people.
Yeah, I definitely
them young whippersnappers talk too fast.
I can totally get why being like having younger parents who would like show you what they liked and like hung out with you like a lot more like that. You know what I mean? Like they're still really young themselves, so it kind of indoctrinating you into that.
Yeah,
is why you still remember a lot of the older stuff.
Nice way to really science the shit out of what I biffed as a sentence.
You're welcome, dude.
That was good stuff. Nice conclusion. The hypothesis was correct.
I feel similar. Where like my family, because my grandparents were alive during the Great Depression.
Hot damn.
I
had a great grandma.
I think my grandparents were either alive or my grandparents were on the end of the Great Depression, I think.
Great Depression was like something through 1980. What?
Great Depression.
Wasn't it like 25 to like 32?
I thought it was 28 to like 38. Let me see here. 29 to 33.
29 to 33. We were both wrong.
Yeah, we were.
Rough.
But they were alive towards the Great Depression.
Noted. Get it? Get it? Sorry, I missed my cue.
It's fine. We'll get better at that.
Yeah.
Noted.
Noted.
I
got that one. I got that one. Sorry, go
ahead. Okay, I see what you mean. But so like a lot of that stuff, like hoarder mentality, kind of passed down through my family. And so we had like a lot of just old shit we never used
Mm-hmm.
that like my parents obviously like my siblings grew up with. Like my sister grew up in the 80s, like grew up in the 90s and partially part of the no, not really much of the 80s, like the last year of the 80s, but the 90s.
Mm.
And so did my other siblings. And DVD players didn't come out until like 97. So we had a fuck ton of VHS tapes and stuff like that that were like older stuff, and we didn't buy a lot of the new technology. Like I didn't have an Xbox until like a 360 was out, that type of stuff, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
dude,
Like
same,
we
same,
always
same.
bought older, like we had CRT TVs my whole life.
Was it just
We
like
never owned a flat screen TV.
was
Even in like 2015, we still had a CRT. You know what I mean?
yeah? Would you just describe it as not like secondhand, but like when you like get clothes from like relatives, like hand-me-downs?
Yeah.
Did it just feel like hand-me-downs? Like
Yeah.
good quality stuff, but like it's just not up to par.
Exactly. And it
Yeah.
wasn't bad, but I
Yeah,
think
no,
that's
no,
why I
it's
have a
still
lot
like
of like
solid, still good shit. It's just not like new, bright and shiny.
exactly. And I
Yeah.
think that's why I have like a lot of knowledge and memories tied to that older stuff. So then when we
Mm.
talk to people who are like 3 years younger than me,
They don't know,
who,
but 3 years
yeah,
older than us, they know. They get it. They
yeah,
lived it. Yeah. No, I
exactly.
get I
Like
get that.
3 years younger than me, we're talking about someone who's like 19, and I'm like, yeah, VHS tape. And like, huh?
Yeah, what's that? I've only had an iPhone my entire life.
Yeah, like I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like I've always had an iPhone or like an
I
iPod.
never had to blow into the cartridge of
Oh
and
yeah.
then ruin my game, and that because it actually ruins the games blowing into cartridges.
No, it cleans up the connectors.
Nope. If you blow into the system, it cleans up the connectors. If you blow into the cartridge, not healthy.
Okay, well, I'll keep that in mind because I have a SNES in my room that I'm trying to play
Noted.
soon. So,
Noted.
um,
Noted. We gotta start saying it more.
okay, I will.
We
I
gotta
will.
be more pretentious with the noted.
Okay,
That's our
let's.
name. It's our name, Daniel.
It is our namesake. Well, I'll start being more dad jokey about it.
Yeah.
Let's
Let's be more dad jokey. Yes, that'd be great.
let's segue a little bit
Knock knock.
from that.
Kidding. Go ahead.
Who's there?
Well, no, we'll segue.
Well, I was gonna say another pet peeve. Uh, is I say this is my major pet peeve.
Okay. Go. I'm ready.
Is like I don't like being interrupted in general,
What?
but it just
What do you say?
but like and it does like irritate me, but
Yeah.
it doesn't piss me off entirely.
Yeah.
It's when I'm in like a heated argument or like confrontation or like
The shit's been
or
stirred.
yeah, shit's been stirred or even like a normal conversation when like a debate or something like
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When you're
And
trying to
someone
get your
cuts
point across.
exactly when I'm specifically trying to explain my point of view and someone keeps cutting me off
Mm.
and says, I know, I don't need to hear it. I don't need to hear
Oh
it.
yeah.
I
I do
I've
that
never wanted to like
sometimes.
wreck someone's ass as much as like but like if someone says that to me, I see red. I'm a pretty pacifist type of person. I don't
Yeah.
want to fight, but if you do that to me, like
It's
I
like
might just throw down
fisticuffs,
with you
boy.
right there. Like
Put them up.
I I grew up with that shit happening to me all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So like,
You don't like to be like hard cut off.
yeah, I don't take that shit. No.
Yeah.
No, like that fucking shit does not happen. Like if someone says that to me, like please don't cut me off. If they keep
Yeah.
going, I'm like no. I'm speaking.
Exactly.
Like I just talk over them.
If
Like
if someone
fuck off.
tries to yeah, exactly. If someone tries to like impose like cuz like I can understand like butting your way into a conversation, right?
Yeah.
But like when
There's a
someone's
time and
just
place.
like, "Oh yeah, 100%." But if someone's just like if you were to be talking and I'd just be like, "Oh, I understand. You can quit now." Or like just like, "No. I understand. It's fine." Like quit explaining yourself. It's like, no, nah. Warm up. Insta pimp hand, dude. Insta
Honestly,
pip hand.
it's like every like cell inside me like boils when that
Yep.
happens. Because like for one, fuck you for thinking you can just fill in the blank on what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
Like, you might know half of what I was going to say, but there's a good chance you don't know all I was going to say.
Mm-hmm.
And two, fuck you, because I listen to your bullshit. You get to listen to my bullshit. That's just how it works, asshole.
Yep. Oh yeah. Dude.
But that's my biggest pet peeve, if you couldn't tell, because I'm already riled up just talking about it.
Gets heated from expressing heat.
Pretty much.
Have you seen the new League of Legends show on Netflix?
I keep seeing it,
Dude,
and I'm thinking about watching it, but I just don't. Is it
Dude,
good?
watch it. Watch it.
It's worth it?
Yeah, blows my mind, dude. It's so good. Art style, little wonky. I really, really like it. It took me like half of the first episode to like really appreciate it, because it did take me a minute to get into it, but I really, really like it now. The characters, like the timeline, I would say like 3 episodes is like one main arc, and then the next 3 episodes like kind of little time jump, and then I think we're going into another arc for like the next 3, and then the next 3 for the last 3, if that makes sense, because I think there's 9.
Okay. Is it like 3D animation like most Netflix's anime?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But have you seen the claymation movie Box Trolls?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Let me use my handy dandy
So
Hulu machine.
I mean, you could just look up the animation for it, but how I would explain this is like everything looks a little bit dirty.
I've not seen that.
Okay. Well, everything looks a little bit dirty like Box Trolls, but it's not like hand 3D. Like, it's not claymation, of course, but everything looks a little clay-ish. Like, everything looks a little plasticky or like material-esque. You should look up like images of Arcane.
That's what I'm doing right now.
It's a really, really, really good.
Oh, that does. I like that
Yeah.
art style.
It's dope. It's really good. I think you should watch it.
I'll give it a try. Have you on the same length, because that's a Netflix exclusive, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the same wavelength, another Netflix exclusive I've been watching recently. Netflix, please sponsor us, please.
Yeah. Same.
Is dude, I love a Netflix sponsorship. I fucking love Netflix.
It would just
I would
make no
die by
sense
Netflix.
for Netflix to sponsor a podcast.
I mean, well, what if we just become a Netflix-centered podcast?
Be the first.
Dude,
Hey,
we can do it.
I'm about
This
it.
is Netflix.
This is noted by Netflix.
Ooh.
Hey.
Ooh. Hey, Netflix, hit us up. And I also got some good TV show ideas too.
Oh, same. Let me just explain a dream that I've had.
The horror movie one.
Oh, yes.
But the show, what is it called? Fuck. Inside Job. The new animated TV show on Netflix, Inside Job. Have you seen that?
Inside Job. No, I don't think I have.
So, for one, the intro music for that show is baller. That beat goes hard. It's awesome. You
Baller
should
20 shot.
listen to the intro. Just look up. You should
Baller.
listen to that intro on your own time. It's a baller intro.
Oh,
But,
I've seen it. I've seen this. I've seen this show.
Okay, yeah. It's
like
for
it's
audience.
like a knockoff Rick and Morty.
I mean, kinda, but not really at all.
It's same.
Not really at all.
It's same-ish premise.
It's the same genre. I'd
Well-
say it's the same genre as Rick and Morty, of like cartoons, sci-fi, adult humor.
It's literally okay. This is why I'm saying okay. I won't say knockoff.
How much of it have you seen?
I've seen the first like 3 or 4 episodes. This is what I'm
Okay,
saying.
okay.
This is what I'm saying though. Like, it's a scientist in a lab coat doing kind of oddly fricked up shit with an oblivious sidekick.
Yeah, it's the same genre.
It's Rick and Morty. It's not the same genre. It's the same story. It's Rick and Morty.
But it has a larger cast too.
Yeah, it's got a larger cast. It's Rick and Morty.
And
Rick and Morty has a huge cast.
Oh, okay. Larger, like in Rick and Morty is like the family pretty much.
Yeah.
This is like their whole group, which is I think a little bit larger than just Summer, Beth, and Jerry, Rick and Morty. So that's like what, five? They have like I think a group of like six or seven.
This
But
picture
yeah,
has
like
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, two more. 7.
yeah.
Oh,
So I
sorry.
oh fair.
Oh.
I get what you mean though. It is in that premise, if you put it in that way, similar, yes. And I said it was the same genre, but it's also like quite a bit different. And the fact that like the synopsis is it's the same type of funny, yes.
Yeah. No,
But
I get you.
I like the fact that it takes place from the that takes place from like the shadow government,
Mm-hmm.
and it's pretty much a show making fun of and playing off of all of the crazy conspiracy theories and
Yup.
denying and making fun of them while also semi-confirming half of them
Did
and
you
making
ever?
new ones, which I think is hilarious. Like
Yeah.
the fact that one of the episodes, so the main character, Riley, her father is one of the smartest men ever, and in the first episode they talk about this. He had a mental breakdown and got kicked out of his company.
Mm-hmm.
And so later, he, as a bet to one of the other CEOs of that company, he said that anyone would believe anything if you put it out there enough.
Yeah.
And so he was the one who started the flat earther conspiracy.
I hate
And
him.
it continued, and he went to a flat earther like he talked to them like once a year on like the convention screen, and like they like followed him and worshipped him, and like
Yeah.
it was it's phenomenal. It's great.
Yeah.
The just the idea that this dude came up with the idea that the earth is flat, and like that is why, and it was like a joke, like a shadow government dude made it as a joke, and so
Yeah.
many people truly believe it.
Dude,
But in this universe, the earth is hollow.
have you ever seen the movie Cabin in the Woods?
Um,
Like it's a scary movie,
I
or it's
isn't
supposed to
it like a
be.
spoof, right?
Nah, no, it's not a spoof. It's supposed to be like an actually scary movie. The premise is a little spoofy, but it's supposed to be like legit. It's about like shadow government, like lures in like 5 characters, you could essentially say, in this situation.
I
Like
have not seen this
the
movie.
hot blonde, the virgin, the athlete, the nerd, and then like the stoner, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they just kill them with creatures in a cabin in the woods. It's really funny and it's really good and it's kind of scary, and I think you would really, 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 really like it. You should watch it. You should watch
Okay.
it like today.
I'll
It's
yeah,
on. I think it's on Hulu.
that I mean, it has Chris Hemsworth, which you don't have to tell me more. Yummy,
He
please give me.
he
Um,
is not like a main character in it. Just so you know, like he is,
think-
but he's not like on screen the whole time.
so he dies.
No, I mean I'm not gonna tell you,
That's a
but
yes. I'm just saying, when I look up this movie, he's in all the main pictures.
well, it's also just because he's Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, that's true. I'm definitely gonna watch this. So the
If
cast looks good.
if I were to have a movie and Chris Hemsworth were to be in it, I would also sponsor my entire movie around Chris Hemsworth.
I love. Have you seen The Good Place?
Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces of it. I haven't seen the whole thing though.
So in one of the seasons, Tahani, the dates, they reveal that Tahani dated one of the Hemsworth brothers,
Mm.
but it wasn't any of the famous ones, because you know how like they're uh both Chris and what's his, let's see here.
Liam
I think it's Liam, yeah, because Liam was the one that played
in Hunger
in
Games.
Hunger Games, yeah. So like Liam and Chris are both the famous ones, but there's a Luke Hemsworth that no one
Yeah,
ever talks about.
he's
And so
he's an Australian actor.
yeah, and so the joke is that she dates the third one, and his name isn't Luke, I don't think. They might call him Luke, I don't remember for sure. But the joke is that she dates him, and he's like a 10.
Mm.
He's like a like one of the best surgeons ever. He's extremely hot, but he's the most insecure person ever. because no one ever wants to talk to him. Because they're
Loser.
always wanting to talk about his brothers
That's
whenever they
rough.
talk to him, and so he thinks he's so uninteresting. And even though like he's like super interesting, and like one of the scenes was like he starts crying, he's like, "'Cause I'm ugly, no one would love this face." And then he runs away and they're like, "He knows what he looks like, right? He knows he's shredded and has a perfect jawline, right?" Like they're all pointing out the fact this man's phenomenal.
They just instantly, they're like, you know, he's related to Chris Hemsworth, right? They compliment him through his brother.
Oh, totally. Like you got a chin just like Chris does.
But yeah,
Oh,
that is
I would
funny.
be
That
so
is funny.
pissed if that happened to me.
Dude, what other shows have you been watching though?
Well, I started watching Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and I got to season 3, like halfway through that, and I haven't touched it since.
Nice,
Um,
nice.
because that's been the trend with me and TV shows for the past 8 months. I'm becoming like the Jimmy Neutron villain who starts projects and can't finishes it.
I completely forgot about that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm becoming like him because the last, I think, 8 TV shows I've started, I have not finished.
Yep. Yeah.
I might have finished 1 or 2 of them in the past 8 months, but like I think since I started Black Clover, because there's animes here and there and like tiny, like I'm talking about like 15 episode long TV shows I'll watch
Yeah.
that like
Yeah.
I'll finish in between shows, but I don't like anything that has like 3 seasons or longer. I've
It's just
started
like,
so many of them, and I like binge watch to the 3rd season, and they have like 5 seasons, and I don't finish it. Like I did that with Friday Night Lights, All American, which is another really good football TV show that's on Netflix. I did that with Black Clover, and it started with Black Clover. I got to like episode 119. How does someone spend all their time getting to episode 119 out of like 140 and not finish that shit, dude?
a masochist.
Probably. I got to season 3 out of what, 4 in Sabrina?
Yeah.
Never watched the last season of The Magicians. Like, there's just so many TV shows. I get so close to finishing it, and I just never do. I think it's because I don't want to be in a show hole.
I think it's also because you don't want closure. Roasted. Deep thought.
There might be truth to that.
You're welcome. I got you. Counseling with Eric.
I'm gonna just go through all those TV shows now and binge them.
Oh, he said ultimate closure, full counter.
Hey, that's a good one.
Yeah, seven Deadly Sins.
Yeah, it is. It's not a well-written show, but it's a fun show.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a great one, but it's a good one.
It's a fun watch. See, everyone nowadays has to be a critic. They need it to be like the next fucking Quentin Tarantino film. Not every film has to be beautifully written. Sometimes it just needs to be enjoyable, you know?
Yeah. Well, the real question is who's gonna be Quentin Tarantino after Quentin Tarantino quits?
Donald Glover.
What?
Yeah, dude, just wait. Just give it a couple more years. Donald Glover's gonna start making like huge movies. Just wait. This man does everything. You don't think he's gonna make? You don't think he's gonna make blockbuster films that are gonna break everyone's mind with its narrative? Have you watched Atlanta?
Boomer.
Atlanta's amazing.
Boomer, who says blockbuster anymore? Boomer, who are you?
Fuck off.
What's a blockbuster?
Oh, you know what a blockbuster is.
Nah, dude. I don't know what that is.
Dude, they're gonna kill it at the box office.
What's a movie theater?
I just stream on my Roku
at home. Stick. Yeah, dude. I just steal everybody else's accounts from them. I don't. We're not going to talk about it. No, I don't. We're not going to talk about it. No, I don't. We're not going to talk about it. No, I don't. We're not going to talk about it.
I
One more time. No, we're not gonna talk about it.
friend of mine in high school who it was like 10th grade, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And he wanted to watch something and he didn't it was on Netflix only and he didn't have access to it, so I just gave him my Netflix password.
Yes,
And it was my
sir.
and it was my parents' Netflix, so he just watched it on my account,
Oh
like on my
no.
on my like separate on like my separate profile on their account.
Yeah.
And so like I would and he used it all the time, and so I would see like the different shows he is watching.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was kind of cool. I'm like, I can keep it with my friend because I know what he's watching. Like
Yes.
he could see what I was watching and he could like we would talk about it randomly too. He's like, sometimes I just want to keep up with you and know what you're seeing, Daddy.
Nice.
Um,
That's awesome.
and so he would do that and then one day would like our school made us write like thank you letters to different students. Like we
Mm-hmm.
had to choose a student and write like why we're thankful to them.
Yeah.
And like what nice thing have you done for a student and what nice thing has a student done for you?
Mm-hmm.
And the nice thing that a student did for him was me giving him my Netflix password and he wrote a whole paper about it. And then later I'm helping him move out of his house like 3 years later,
Yeah.
helping him move out of his house. And his dad's like, by the way, what's so good about your Netflix? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, we've had our own Netflix for 2 years now. And every time I tell Logan he can watch ours, he's like, no, I want to watch Daniel's. It's better.
It was the connection. The connection to the buddy. Dude, that's sick. That's a good
Aw,
little story.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I, the one thing that's sad nowadays in the digital age of like streaming services like Spotify and Netflix and stuff,
Hit me,
when you
bro.
spend like 10 years making a perfect well-groomed list and preferences that they know you and recommend perfect things to you, and then you lose access to that account, and then
Oof.
you have to start all over.
What are you
That's
referring to?
the time that I deleted my Facebook and it deleted my Spotify, and
Yeah.
I lost all my Spotify preferences, and I had to make a new account. And at that point, I was like,
That
it's not worth it. I'm just gonna listen to music I have downloaded on my phone. I don't want to start over this.
that's rough, dude.
Takes a while to get the Spotify algorithm to like fully get to know
Yeah,
like the diverse shit you know.
in full swing. I've had let's see. We're gonna do a little quick
And I had
check.
to do the same thing with Netflix after my parents got rid of
Mm.
their Netflix and I bought
Yeah,
my own.
but
I had a
Netflix gets you pretty quick. It's
Yeah, the
just
algorithm
it's
isn't
just
that
all
great.
Netflix does is just pushes their own crap in your face.
Yeah, but then I had to rebuild my list was the thing. You know what I mean? That was the
Yeah.
sad thing.
Yeah, that
I
makes sense.
I don't know if you ever do it, but like when I'm bored, like all my list is shit I've seen or shit I think I might like to see. So when I get bored, I just go on my list and see what do I want to watch. And something on there will catch my mind. It might just be Avatar: The Last Airbender for the 10th time.
Same. How I Met Your Mother on Hulu.
What do you prefer Hulu over Netflix?
I mean, it. I really don't prefer any of them over any of them because all of them kind of suck.
What do you mean?
Like, what what I mean is that they all just have like so many. They have so many things, right? That I never know what to watch, and then like there's so many things that just get swapped between all of them. Like I've seen Harry Potter, dude, go from Hulu to HBO Max like 3 times. Like exchange like between each other like 3 times.
Fair. Licensing and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
and just like there's so many times where I'll be like, I want to watch The Matrix, given I could just go on to HBO Max because I have it and watch it on there because it's a Warner's Brother movie, right? Just watch it
Yeah.
there. But it's also on Hulu sometimes. It's also on Netflix sometimes. So it's like, I don't know. I'm just also I'm picky.
I can understand the frustration about not being able to find anything, like everything in one place, or like it being moved around a lot.
It's not so much of
Like,
like finding everything in one place. It's more of like having to like I just always feel like their lists are never like caught up. Cause like sometimes I'll be like, I'll do this. Is this show on Netflix? I'll look it up and it says that it is, right? And then I look and it's not.
yeah, I can get that. Like that is quite annoying. Personally, I think I have too much brand loyalty to Netflix, but I will. We've been my family had Netflix back like when you it was just renting, you know what I mean? You couldn't stream
Oh,
it.
wow.
You could just rent the movies and they would mail the movies to
When
you.
it was Blockbuster?
Yeah, pretty much. Red Blockbuster.
Yeah.
And so you would just they would send movies in and or TV shows like we rented seasons 1 through 4 on DVD of Invader Zim because they
Nice.
used to have all the TV shows and movies.
Mm-hmm.
And then they started moving, and some movies you couldn't like there was a while there where you could stream some and rent some, but some movies could only be rented, not streamed.
Yeah.
And then I remember when they sent us the Netflix download disc on the Wii.
Dude, look at us, dude. We're boomers.
We are
We're
getting
just back here to the boomer topic, dude. We've seen
it.
the rise and conquer of streaming services.
Honestly, we have. And like that's why I love
Oh
Netflix so
my
much,
god, that's kind of
especially because
terrifying.
Netflix,
Oh my gosh.
we've seen the rise and destruction of a whole industry.
Of an entire era of just humanity being brainwashed. No.
It's a little terrifying, just a little,
Yeah, that's also really a dramatic way of looking at it, but
just a little, just a
yeah.
little. Um,
But in retrospect, that's kind of what it is.
it is weird seeing like the rise and fall of
I
different things
I mean,
and the
just in
way I
general.
think for me, what scares me more when we were talking about like brainwashing, social media. It's
Well,
weird to
yeah,
me to see the rise and like the rise of social media and how it's affected everything.
but I also think it's just as bad to like binge watch shows because then you just like echo chamber yourself. Like, given dude, I love The Magicians, right? But like I have now I've hit the wall of rewatching that show to where if I do watch that show, it actually almost makes me depressed.
Mm.
Just because I don't correlate with that kind of sadness anymore cuz I'm not like in that mindset that much cuz like when I started to watch that show, I was always down in the ditch, bruv. I was
Yeah.
pretty sad all the
You
time, and that was a good show to help me cope with my bad ish,
and
right?
so you've associated that ish
Yeah,
with that
with
show.
that show and with those characters, and so like constantly rewatching a show like that, and keeping myself in that echo chamber of just like recycling same thoughts that aren't healthy and all that jazz, right? And I feel like binge watching, like I said, I think binge watching shows is just as bad as scrolling for hours endlessly on social media, which I do daily.
I think that I think they're both
I think they're equally
on
bad.
I think they're both unhealthy
Oh,
for sure.
100%. It's definitely
I
not a
think
way that a human was meant to live.
I think social media is more dangerous because it specifically changes and corrupts the way
Really?
we interact with individuals. Because when I binge watch a show,
Nah.
you're right. Like
I mean,
binge watching a show can give you like it can take you away from the world where social media can bring you closer to it. But all and you can do like the associating a feeling to that TV show. Because I've done the same thing with The Office. I can't watch The Office anymore without being depressed.
rough.
I'm waiting for it to get its spark back for me, but I associate The Office with like existential crisis for so long.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it got me out of like it was the show of I'm so sad because of my mundane. I need a show that makes the mundane exciting.
Dude, Archer. That Archer is that is my show for Archer.
Mm.
I watched that entire show in like 2 months.
It-
But yeah, no.
but
Go ahead.
I think I feel like there's a beautiful thing about being able to do that with TV shows, but it's also like dangerous. Like I think they're both good and bad, but I think that specifically social media, it
I think it needs to
it
be
allows us
toned down
it
just a
needs
wee
to be
bit.
controlled. It needs
Yeah.
to be controlled. I think that the way where we're at with the like streaming and stuff, like yes, it is bad, but it's also very controllable on our end, where social media is like almost essential to be used nowadays for a lot of careers and just interaction with loved ones. Yet it doesn't go out of its way to warn you about all the terrible things it's psychologically fucking up you and your children with.
Mm.
Like, for one, it's a great place for echo chambers. Like, you want to talk about echo chambers of feelings, dude? Social media can do that
Tumblr.
quadruple.
Oh, what?
Tumblr, Twitter, Reddit,
Oh,
whatever it
dude.
is,
Okay, first of
it's
all,
there.
Twitter is not a social media.
Yeah, it is.
Twitter is is hell.
Oh, yeah. Also, Twitter is the worst of them all. It is 100%. The fact people try to have actual, like, intellectual debates and decide people's livelihoods of like whether or not they lose their job or end their career over a fucking 30 character like 300 character limit
I
post
thought it was
is fucking
150. I
ridiculous.
thought it was
I think
150.
it was 150 for a while, but then they upped it.
Oh, I wouldn't know. I've never had a Twitter. I don't feel
Yeah,
like I am important enough.
I think it's 300 now.
Yeah, I don't
But
know.
either way, like not enough to have any fucking nuance or context in it.
Yeah, not enough to actually state your point.
Yeah. And so like at least on YouTube you can have a dialogue of some sort, even though it's still not a two-way dialogue completely.
Well,
You're
no,
able
you
to
you
you're
could
able
and
to
you could in the comments.
yeah, you can in the comments, but I'm specifically trying to move away from the written the reason why I said YouTube is because you can actually fully describe your opinions and the nuance of your opinions with your speech, where to do that over text is possible, but a lot harder and takes much more effort and much more writing to do.
Yeah, but you can also post videos onto Twitter.
Yeah,
So like
limited,
yeah, limited, but you can.
and most people don't.
Yeah, I just feel like a lot more toxicity comes out of Twitter. Given like I said, I don't have a Twitter, but all I hear from or about around the universe in the breathing space of Twitter is that it's just a sad and hateful place that people go to hate people.
It
And
is.
why people engage in that baffles me.
It is
It's
toxic.
beyond my comprehension, man. I don't get
Uh,
it.
I
Why?
It's super
Okay.
toxic, and
In
I don't like it for that very reason. And that's
in
kind of what I was describing about like the
yeah,
character limit.
in
That's part of why I think
layman's
it's toxic.
terms, in the simplest terms, why do you think people find the thrill of just defecating all over on people? Not
Um,
physically, not literally.
no, you're talking about like when like
Like what? Like how?
assaulting someone over
Yeah,
online, like
yeah.
specifically like obliterating them,
How do
roasting
you
them,
think people
insulting them.
find enjoyment in destroying people's like mentalities? I don't understand it, and I
They're
don't see how people can find enjoyment in that.
personally, I could never find enjoyment in it, but I can comprehend how they do it, and it's a culmination of multiple factors. So I'm gonna just quickly go over it in like a list. The first thing is the power dynamic in their own life.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
That makes sense.
most people online don't have any power in their real life. and when they and are usually the people being stepped on. Like most of us are minimum wage workers or middle class, lower class people. So when they get to tell someone, especially someone who's famous or someone who
Yeah.
just has more clout than them, that you're a trash bag human being and they know they affected them, they feel like they at this point in time are the bigger person and they have
Yeah.
more power.
But
Being able
like,
to control people's feelings is a source of gratification because of that. I think it's also the fact that they're anonymous, so they don't have to
yeah.
bring any of that back to their like daily life, you know what I
There's no
mean?
consequence.
Yeah, there's no consequence to it. So it's like a kind of guilty pleasure in that way.
The age of 20, the age of 2020, 2021, the age of the 2020s, dude. Little to no consequence.
Yeah. Or all the consequence because people go down the deepest rabbit hole to find any dirt on you. And so I think it's a culmination of people being extremely sad in their own life, and they're seeing all these people online show a great life. Like if you go on Instagram, Instagram is just a fucking highlight reel of your life. It's not your actual life, but it's all the cool moments you decide to share with people. So if I'm a random person and I see your Instagram page, I'm like, holy shit, this person is going to the is going to this island and this island all the time, and they travel all the time, and they're going to big cities. I don't see everyday mundane shit and all the mental health struggles you go with,
Mm.
but I see your highlights, and because of that, I feel like your life is better than mine and mine's shit, and so I want to shit on you and make myself feel bigger than you so
Mm-hmm.
that I can not feel as shitty about myself because I'm comparing myself to you.
Yeah. No, that makes
Um,
sense.
and clout. Like it comes down to it. It's
Ooh.
social media is gambling. It's not gambling in the exact way that you're like throwing money and losing money, but it is
It's like a,
addictive like gambling.
it's
It's like
like,
slots.
it's like emotional Russian roulette. I
It
understand.
is. It's because like a perfect example is when I post a picture, every time I get a like, I get dopamine
Endorphins.
from that. Endorphins, dopamine shot from that.
Yes, sir.
But every time I post a picture, I can't guarantee I'm gonna get 1,000 likes or 100 likes or 50 likes.
Yep.
So it's kind of that gamble of like a slot machine. I'm gonna pull it down and cross my fingers and hope I get a lot. And when I do get more than I normally do, it's a huge high. But when I get lower than I normally don't, like
Depression.
it's super heavy on you. And so I think
Depression.
people shit on other people for that rush, for that
to
when
keep to
I shit
keep
on
every to
if you
keep
ever go to
everyone
like the comment
down.
sections
Yeah.
of stuff and you see someone shitting on someone, there's like always 80 other comments of other people agreeing with that person shitting on that person.
I don't know, dude. I feel like recently I've seen either a lot of people also, like you're saying, like also go along with it, or there are people who are like not cool, you know?
Yeah. I think it depends on each community and what
Yeah.
they're
Yeah,
saying
yeah, 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 yeah,
specifically.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It
There's
depends on
always
the
like a couple
situation.
people fighting against it, but like
Yeah. It depends on
I
the situation, the
people like
context.
to exactly. People like to tear each other down. And I
I
agree
don't
to you
get it,
to a
dude.
point.
I don't get it, dude. See, I would rather just not interact with people instead of make someone's life harder. Just don't talk.
I feel you
Just
there.
don't. You know?
Yeah. I have a very bittersweet love and hate with social media.
I don't like I enjoy it because it entertains me and it keeps my, like you're saying, mundane middle class boring life entertained because, you know, cat videos and cool trick shots. That's pretty much my life, man.
Oddly satisfying videos.
Yeah, dude, that's pretty much all I see on my Instagram and like YouTube and stuff like that. It's cat videos and trick shot videos and yeah, but keeps everything a little more upbeat, I guess. But at the same time, like I hate it because I rely on that to allow myself to feel interesting instead of actually making myself interesting.
Yeah.
Social media is it's a weird thing, dude. And
Yeah.
we are the guinea pigs of the
We're
social media era.
yeah, we were the first generation to really grow up with it 100%. I
Nah,
mean, I
nah.
guess
We were the generation. We were the generation that grew into it.
yeah, that's
We're
true.
okay, so like
Cuz
like the
the
80s,
people
like
who are like
80s and 90s babies. Like I'm late 90s. I don't really count. Like I'm 1998, but I'm practically 2000.
yeah, we're 2000 kids.
Technologies, yeah, technology wise, 2000. We'll just round up. But
Yeah,
like
cuz
80s and
99,
90s,
98 doesn't really count as 90s kids.
yeah, no. Even though I was born in Idaho, in the middle of fucking nowhere. So actually I was born in like 1798. Anywho, freaking dude. But no, what I was saying is that like 80s and 90s, like they didn't really have like of course they had technologies, but like they didn't have advanced technologies like we do. And then freaking 90s and 2000s come, our era is born. Those people are like, how do we technology? And we're like, integrate with body. Like, we can understand it. We were born with this. And now all the kids pretty much just are born with an iPhone in their hand.
Exactly. Like our generation, well, I say our generation, but half of our generation was the kids born with an iPhone in their hand and born with Instagram installed. You know what I mean? Like half of our generation is that. But I'd say the
Well,
the
if we're
the
going from
older half.
2000 to
Hmm?
2010, are we going from 1990 to 2000? Because technically that's the generation we're in.
Yeah, so we're in Gen Z. I'm saying like anyone who was born from let's say 2000 like 19 like if we're talking about like let's say the end of our generations I think 94. So anyone from like 94
We'll just do
to
94 to '04 or 94 to like 14.
mm, I'd say 94 to '02
Yeah.
are people who were born and by the time they were like 10 or 12 is when or a little bit older, around there, like early teens,
Yeah.
uh uh, uh maybe a little bit before that, maybe a little older than that, give or take, around that age is when social media really blew up. Because I mean, Twitter it's been around since '07 or '08. Facebook's been around for a while, but they really didn't blow up huge, huge, huge until like 2011, 2012 around there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and before that it was just essentially all like emails and
Yeah, and
chat services and stuff like that.
exactly. It was a lot more niche
Yeah.
before that, then it really became more
It was a lot
mainstream.
more like it was more of kind of like having someone's contact in your phone. Like you could call them or text them. That is what the internet was kind of. Like that is what
Mhm.
technology was computers, but actual computers and not in your hand computers, you know?
Yeah.
Cuz you could just email somebody.
And I feel like the difference is like where I was like my first Facebook account I got when I was like I think 11 or 12.
No, Daniel. That's so bad. That's
And
so
yeah,
young, dude.
super young. And that's why
That's
I say like
way too young.
I like to say I grew up with social media
You
because of how
did.
young I
You
had.
did. How you said 11?
I was like 11, yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's nah. First
And
time, dude, I got a phone 15.
well, I
And
had
it wasn't even an iPhone. It was like a slide phone. I had no internet. I
well,
got
I was
like I had
sorry.
my first social media account.
Mhm.
I was 16, 17.
Okay,
So
so that's a way healthier
that would
age.
have put
Way
me,
healthier age.
yeah. I mean, not really, but yeah. I
Well,
if I were to actually like okay, if I could put when I think people should be able to be given social medias, I would equate it to nicotine. I would just whatever nicotine age limit is, I would then say you can have a social media account. I don't think young humans should have any type of connection to social media at all.
I agree
I
and
don't
disagree
think
to a degree.
no. I think if they have like okay, because social media, I would say like Xbox is social media technically. Like playing video games, that's social media. I'm okay with that. They can play, like humans can play video games, young age, right? I don't care. Creativity, hand-eye coordination, get it. But like social media, there's creepy people out there. There's just horrible things that are being displayed everywhere, and I'm not trying to let a malleable human brain be infected by the horrors that come through social media. Yes, social media can be very beautiful and creative and a good outlet, but like if you have a creative mind and it gets dark, social media can be horrible, and just media in general can be horrible, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want a child. I do not want a child with a creative mind to be able to browse the internet by any means at all, in any way, shape, or form, whether it's through Google. I mean, they can Google things. I don't care about that, but I don't care. But like through like Instagram and Twitter and Reddit and Facebook, like I'd be like, no, you're not touching that until you can smoke a cigarette.
I
no
understand the heart in that statement.
Yeah.
And I 100% agree with the sentiment that their mind is so malleable and social media can fuck it up in so many ways.
Yeah, dude. It's so important.
But I look at it kind of like a more realistic view of whether we try to gatekeep it, they're going to get through to it eventually. You know what I mean?
Oh, facts.
So if I had a child, how I would handle it is I would wait until they're like probably, because I do agree 16, 15, 17 is probably the most dangerous age for social media. Because that's for me is when it was most dangerous. But I had like 5 years to build up to it.
Yeah.
Because that's when you really are more self-aware enough to compare yourself. I just was game programmed when I was 11.
Yep.
And then the programming activated when I was a teenager. You know what I mean?
Yep. That's called puberty and hormones.
Yeah.
And peer pressure and having the entire world look and like you through a post is horrible.
It is. And
that's
so that's
no way to live a child's life. A child's life. I don't see how people can live like that.
I 100% agree.
It really baffles me.
It
worries me.
It's not healthy.
No, it's
dangerous.
Not. It is dangerous.
But it's also really powerful in different ways. And
100%.
how I would handle it is I would wait until my child's at least 15, if not 16.
Mm-hmm. Matured and well versed in what could happen.
Yeah, maybe depending on the child's maturity, maybe 14 at the earliest, but even then that's a little too early, probably 15 at the earliest.
Even if a kid says they're mature or shows that they're mature, I don't believe them. I don't believe them.
You'll know. You'll know the maturity.
I was a mature child. Yeah. But still, look at me now.
But what I'm saying is specifically what's important, Eric, in this conversation we're having right now, is communicating that to the kids. That's the issue our generation ran into. And it's not the fault of our parents or the fault of our elders. I mean, how the fuck were they supposed to know what social media was going to turn into? But there wasn't that, at least for me, and I know a lot of other kids are in our generation, there wasn't that communication of like, hey.
Well, no one knew what it was going to be, dude. No one knew what the internet was going to be. Everyone thought the world was going to end in 2000.
Exactly.
Literally everyone thought that all of technology, Y2K, everyone thought everything was just going to everything power down because they didn't think that clocks could handle the processing power to make 2,000 a year. Imagine that. Think of that. 21 years ago, people thought the internet was going to die because they didn't think it could process the number 2,000.
Yeah.
21 years ago. Humanity was stupid.
Dude. But like what I was gonna say is like we didn't have they weren't prepared for it, and that's not their fault. They didn't know
No.
what it was gonna be. No one
Yeah.
knew it was gonna be.
Yeah. No one.
But now we do. We
Oh
know the
yeah.
dangers of it. And that's what I would do. I would sit down with my child and let them know, be like, look, there is a lot of beautiful things. You're going to meet a lot of cool people on here, and you're going to be able to find your own niche and find your own group and really be able to grow
But it's also
as
really
a
fucked
person.
up.
But also, you should never, never choose to live your self-worth based off of what anyone else on this app says, or anyone says in general.
Oh, facts.
Your likes don't value you. That does not mean how good of a person you are. Who reposts, who looks at your stuff, what pictures you're in, or comparing your pictures to other people's pictures, whether their fake life or your fake life is better. None of that matters. And like I would sit down with my child and really have a heart to heart with them about that. And I think that's the conversation that needs to be happening with kids. Instead, we have toddlers who are learning to use an iPad when they're fucking 2. And then by the time they're like
when they're a
8,
toddler.
yeah. And like we got kids on social media at super young ages, and it's like we've just accepted that it's okay instead of actually like going over it in more detail like we should be doing. Like,
Yep.
look, my generation's fucked in the head because no one knew how to properly prepare us for the addictive railroad and socially and emotionally fucked up things that social media is. Don't let future generations be fucked in the head like we are.
Yeah. No, exactly, dude.
And
I think it's crazy that it's literally just been essentially since we were born. Not like exactly because, computers were made way before that, but like social media in general, like really exploded 2000s, and now we're here and seeing the impact of it. Like we are kind of the impact of integrating into social media, kind of like socially inept, kind of odd. How do I exchange with humans? And then we also have the pandemic to add on to that, which doesn't help anything. But like,
yeah, no, the pandemic is just
it doesn't help anything, and
it's just made it worse.
Everything's just kind of to shit at the moment. But we don't need to get into all of that. We just need to talk about the dilemmas of what society is being impacted through social media and the constructs of the human brain. Welcome to Noted. Oh.
Bam.
Big brain topic.
Big brain topic. I'm really passionate about this topic because
it's a good one. It's really important because I mean, dude, we I hate saying this, but like, we are the future of this country, Daniel.
I mean, we kind of are.
No, not kind of. Not kind of. We are. I mean, unless you move
I say kind of until we die.
Oh, I was just gonna say until we possibly go to a different country. I'm probably never gonna move out of country, but it might be a thing.
Eric, healthy reasoning why we might not be the future of this country.
Death.
Daniel, very unhealthy reasoning why we might not be the future of this country.
Do you think that we, as humans, will ever decide to like just dip Earth? Do you think we'll ever actually get to that point where we can leave?
I mean, I think
like the whole Mars thing.
I think the question isn't if. I don't think the question is if we will decide, but it's if we will make it in time. I think eventually if Earth does not die, or the sun does not explode, or like it becomes inhabitable to live on Earth. If none of those things happen, like Earth is continuously habitable for the foreseeable future of millions and millions of years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if it's a rock for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that happens, then yes, we'll go into space. And we'll colonize different planets eventually.
So now
it's bound to happen.
Have we changed the topic now to global warming? Is that what you're saying, Daniel?
Is
that what you're hinting at, Daniel?
I think the sun's probably going to explode before global warming kills everyone.
What?
but it's
What are you
possible that
talking about?
it's also
Global
possible.
warming would frickin' yeet us out of existence way before our sun explodes. I mean, I'm just kind of shooting my shot in the dark on that one. Don't
I
take
mean,
it for actual facts, but like,
I'm not trying to underplay climate change because climate change is for real. And like I see it in my local communities. Like people say climate change isn't real, but
climate change
none of
real.
none of our seasons, like here where I live, like none of my seasons are the same as what they used to be.
Yeah, yeah. You
They're
want
all
to know
shifted like a
another?
month and a half.
Yeah, you want to know
And
another thing that is also a reason? It got so hot for so long this summer that Washington had its biggest drought like ever.
dude, it
And
was insane.
and normally, like, I think Washington is always pretty like solid. Like
Yeah,
when it comes to rain. And like
oh, 100%.
I don't think we ever have droughts.
No.
I'm gonna look into this really quick. You keep going. You keep
Well,
turking.
I mean, I live in central Washington, and
Yeah.
like in central Washington, we always get hotter than the west side does.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
100%.
like, but bro, I know what specific point in the summer you're talking about. During the summer where I live, it was 100 and I think 15, 116 for
Oh,
2 weeks straight.
oh God.
For 2 weeks,
No.
imagine that 2 weeks straight, bro. Imagine 2 weeks straight of 115-degree weather. It was actually, I love the sun. I love the heat. I'm a summer dude. I'm a summer
Not in
baby.
that situation. Fuck that.
No, no, it was unbearable. It got to the point where when it was 100, like when it went down to 100 degrees,
It
like
felt nice.
when that like heat stroke finally ended and it was 100 100 degrees, it felt so nice. It
Oh,
felt
I bet.
cold.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to my landlord and I was like, "Oh, it's so much better now." And he's like, "Yeah, 15 degrees makes a huge difference. It'd be like 100 degrees to 75 degrees." And I was like, "Holy crap, you're right. It was that hot, dude. It was that hot.
That's actually crazy. Do you see
That like
the picture that I put in chat?
it says you're typing. So, oh yeah, that's insane.
Isn't
That
that
heat map
crazy? That was the drought that we experienced.
in the US in general.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty like I know climate change is a big deal. We see it. And that's not me undermining it. Like that climate change could be the end of humanity or like nowadays civilization humanity until we rebuild. But I do think that we're becoming more and more aware of it as a society, that we will either eventually fix it or push it down the line for a while. Like I think we're
Yeah.
making those steps towards making the changes necessary to band-aid what is the dying planet. Like, I mean, I'm also not the most like educated person in the
Oh,
world
I'm
when it
not
comes to
either.
climate
I'm not
change.
either.
So it might just be too late.
I would say efficient things need to happen.
And those have been happening too, which is why I'm not as scared of climate change. Like, there's still a lot of big changes that need to happen. Fossil fuels need to be kicked out, which is going to be really hard because they control the world. Um,
Hmm.
but like even if you look at China, China was the number one. Okay, I could be wrong about this, so this could be incorrect, but I'm fairly certain China was at least a couple years ago was the number one um country in leaving a carbon footprint and like putting carbon into the air and and pollution in general. They were the number one highest country in pollution, and they in the past couple years have made leaps in cutting that down. And
China alone contributes over 27% of the global emissions, far exceeding the US, the second highest emitter, that is at 11%.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure they've done better in the past couple years. Like I'm pretty sure they've made jumps to lower their global emissions, which is huge.
That is crazy. I've never seen this chart before.
Um, and so like in that aspect, I think I personally feel like we can fix it.
Yeah,
We can't
if
fix the sun
China,
exploding, dude.
I mean,
We can't
dude.
fix the sun
Did you ever see that movie Sunshine?
No.
Oh, it's the exact opposite of what you're saying. So instead of the sun exploding, It's a scary movie, dude. You should watch it. It's a little thriller. But the premise, I won't spoil anything. The premise of it is that the sun dies. It just kind of dims out and like kind of shrinks and hardens kind of into like a rock, right? I think that's the premise. And then a team of astronauts are sent into space to then shoot like hydron, like nuclear warheads into the sun to explode it, or hydrogen nuclear weapons into the sun to make it like light up again. It's a pretty good movie.
Wow. That sounds
it's got Chris Evans in it, and it also has
you should have opened with that. Sold.
It also has a guy who plays Scarecrow. The guy who's in Peaky Blinders as well as in Inception. No, he doesn't, and he also understands the assignment every time.
He's gorgeous and a good actor.
Yeah,
you're just gonna see a theme every time you mention actors. I'm gonna call him hot.
I mean, I would expect nothing less, Daniel.
Good. I'll have to check it out because I love those two actors. Have you ever seen Knives Out?
I have.
Dude, that's a phenomenal movie.
Daniel Craig's odd cowboy accent that changes. I'm about
that.
It.
Okay, I'm gonna tell.
Dude, I love it. Love it. I love it. No,
apparently, I'm the only one in the universe who hates his accent.
I love it. That's hilarious.
Elijah watched that movie, and I told him I hated it, and he's like, "No, I thought it was a great accent." I'm like, it didn't take you out of that movie like 80% of the time. Like, it took me the first half of that movie to fully get used to his accent. It wasn't until the second half of the movie where I stopped thinking about his accent every time he spoke.
Yeah. How it helped me to look past him is that instead of looking at him and thinking he was a person, I looked at him more as a character.
Yeah, and I eventually got to that point.
Yeah, because like
your
the
accent's
person
so goddamn bad.
Yeah,
it takes me a while.
It's not bad though. It was. Dude, I understand. I understand. It's characterized.
Look,
it was. Like,
I know real Southern people.
No, I know.
We've met real Southern people.
I know.
Sound like that,
I know
dude.
they don't. That's what I'm saying. Is that he was a characterized Southern, like he was a characterized Southerner, like. I completely agree. His accent was not like accurate at all. Like there was some holes in it, but like, and it was just kind of funny to listen to, and it kind of changed and morphed. But like,
it did. It morphed.
I know.
I think towards the end of the movie, the accent died too. The accent got slimmer. Like it was still there, but it wasn't like as because it felt like the first half of that movie was so like especially his introduction. It was so jarring.
Yeah. I love that. I need to rewatch that movie.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the interim noted game time. Every week, about halfway or so, or whenever we feel like it, we play a game. This game today that we have chosen is Two Truths and a Lie. It's pretty simple, and if you haven't played this game, what rock have you been living under? Two truths and a lie. You tell 3 statements. 2 of them are truths, 1 of them is a lie. The other person has to figure out what it is. If I guess the correct one is the lie, I get a point. If I don't correct the guess one is wow. If I do not guess the correct one as the lie, the person who is lying gets the point. That was a tongue twister, and I am bad. So let's start off. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, time to play Two Truths and a Lie. My turn. The contestant Daniel will step up. My 3 truths are: I had a rock thrown directly at my head at a birthday party one time. He was a pitcher, and a baseball pitcher, and then I I split my testicle falling on a like jungle gym. So
wait, is this one whole lie?
This is a separate one.
Okay.
So the first one is the first truth.
Yeah. I got you.
Is I got a rock thrown at my head.
Yeah.
At a birthday party by a pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
Second truth is I was climbing a jungle gym at my school, the monkey bars. I fell and slipped and hit right on the middle of them.
Mm-hmm.
And between my legs and split my testicle and had to go to the ER.
Nice.
And the third one is holy shit, how did I forget my third one? Oh yeah, I remember now. I wore a dress to school.
I completely believe that one.
So, Eric, what will you do? Which one is true and which one is a lie?
Um,
If you need follow-up questions, you can ask me about the situations.
nah, nah. I'm gonna go first one. First one was a lie.
The rock being thrown at my head?
Yeah.
Incorrect.
Damn. Was
Um,
it the testicle story?
it was. That didn't happen to me. That happened to my brother.
Rough. Sucker. Sorry, dude.
I don't know if it fully split it or not. I think it did.
Yeah.
But he did fall on a jungle gym monkey bars and fell right between.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I was at my friend's birthday party with, and he had a ton. He was a baseball player. He was
Hmm.
on the All-Star team, and all of his friends over at the birthday party played baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And we were climbing a hill, and while we're climbing, someone at the top of the hill was throwing rocks down at the bottom of the hill while like half of us were still climbing,
Mm-hmm.
and he like full wind up threw that shit and hit me right in the forehead.
Hot damn.
It had a big goose egg on there.
That's rough.
It was a bit rough, but you know it is what it is.
That it is, my man. That it
So,
is.
1 point for me. Haha. Okay, Eric, your turn.
Okay. I have it. You ready? Here are my 3 truths.
Yeah.
First truth. I have broken several bones. Second truth. I once ran into a tree and almost got the exact scar as Harry Potter. Third truth. I have had 2 surgeries.
How old were you when you ran into that tree?
I was like 11. Right into the tree.
Okay. I think that's real. What type of surgeries were there?
Both back surgeries. Same spot.
See, I knew you had back surgery once. For sure. I can say that for sure. I'm fairly certain you've had 2. But I feel like that's the red herring because I know you have a fucked up back. And I feel like that might be the red herring. Let's see here. So back surgeries, and then what was the first one again?
The first one was that I have broke several bones.
See, I know you have a fucked up knee and a fucked up foot, but I don't think you ever actually like broke those bones. I'm gonna I'm gonna go with the broken bones. That's the lie.
That is correct. Dun dun
Okay.
dun. I only broke my foot.
Okay. See, I knew your legs were fucked up.
Yes. Technically, I don't know. I didn't want to count this, but I thought about this while I was talking. But I think one time Hunter, my stepbrother, I think one time he broke my pinky toe.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I'm not counting that, so I'll still give you the point.
Okay.
Cuz technically then it'd be multiple bones, but it's still my foot. So I counted it as my foot.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Win
Um,
on technicality, Daniel.
I also, just to revamp, because I realized I didn't mention anything about it. I wore a dress to school for Spirit Week. I don't just wear dresses.
No, you just wear dresses. Kilts all the
Um,
time.
I pissed off my sister. She did not like I was wearing a dress.
Was it hers?
No, it was
Oh,
my classmate's dress.
okay, hilarious. It would have been your sister's. Imagine showing up to school in a sister's dress as they're also in your school. They'd be like,
Oh, I mean, that
what
would have been
the
adorable
heck?
though, because then that just would have been my sister as a high school and senior and me as a first grader wearing a dress.
Everyone would have
Um,
been like, look at him.
Thank you so much for watching and listening to Noted on whatever platform you do. We really appreciate you, especially right now, because we're non-existent. I don't know how the fuck you found this. I don't know
Who
what you're
are
doing with your
you?
life,
What are you doing?
but I
Stop
appreciate
that.
you listening to our voices. So,
Have you seen those videos, dude?
you
Or
have a
like those
great
those
day.
audio things where they're like, "What are you doing? Stop that!
Yeah,
Quit what you're doing.
why are you doing this? Okay.
Just put the phone away.
just be
turn
be a normal human.
turn it
Enjoy
off.
enjoy your life.
Quit
You know?
and end it."
Oh.
Hi, you've just witnessed a podcast, and this podcast just ended. You can find us every Monday on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcast, and YouTube at Noted Podcast.
Noted.